Hello, my name is Rachel and I love crafting. And today I have what is probably just going to be a pretty short little video for you. On Amazon, I purchased this. It's a heat mat for resin, and it claims that it'll take the unmolding time from, the normal 24 hours to only like 4 hours. So I thought this would be fun to give a try. I'm assuming this only works on like thin molds. I can't imagine it would also speed up like the coffin boxes or any of those thicker molds. But I don't know. We'll have to experiment that with all that one day. But right now we're just going to experiment with some thin molds just to give it a good chance. But let's take a look at this. I got this on Amazon, and as usual, when I get something from Amazon, there will be an associate link down in the description box below. But I guess before you guys rush out and buy one, let's get to the end of this video and figure out if this actually works. Okay, so this one has a couple different parts. There is this cotton layer. Oh, it looks like the bag is sealed. Give me 1 second to get into this. All right, so we have an instruction sheet. And it comes with like a little scrapey stir stick. That's odd, just like one random stir stick. But the main parts of the drying mat are, there is this pad that goes underneath it. Then there is the heating mat itself. And then there is this silicone mat that protects the heating mat from drips and spills so that you'll be able to peel them right off. And this is removable, and you can replace it if you need to. So those are the parts of that. And it says, do not bend or cut, do not immerse in liquids. I guess all that makes sense because, it's attached to this little thing with a plug. It has a little switch with, I think it has a timer on it, so you can do timed heats, and you can also change the temperature. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up over where I normally set my stuff to cure, and then we're going to do a quick montage of me painting a mold with the little mica powders, and then we'll put the molds on there. We'll wait 4 hours and we'll come back and we'll see if it actually solidified them enough to unmold them, because they won't be completely cured, but they should be cured enough to unmold within 4 hours. So let me go get all that set up and then we'll get into the montage. See you in a moment. So we got all of these molds filled up. I made a little more resin than I meant to, so I had to throw a few more molds together. And we haven't turned the heat mat on yet. I did have that right. The bottom dot is the highest temperature, as you can see there. It goes from, what is that, 41, it tells me over here too, or 45. It goes 45, 50, 60, and 70. So and the bottom one is the highest one. And then, okay, so, yep, and we figured out the time already. So we got all that figured out. Oh, and it's, right here is your thickness, so it shouldn't be more than 0.8 centimeters thick, I guess. All over here it says, do not exceed 2 centimeters in thickness. But then your heat chart over here only goes up to 0.8 centimeters. But I guess it'll speed it up, but it'll take longer than 4 hours if it's thicker than 0.8 centimeters. And if I remember, I'll try to get the translation for that in inches so we can know how much that is in inches for us Americans. Who never quite learned metric. Okay, so now I'll see you guys in 4 hours. I just wanted to go over all that with you real quick. All right, it has been 4 hours, and let me just touch. It feels firm on the surface. I know those are very thin. This one might be a little thicker. Yep, feels firm on the surface. The mat has already cooled down and turned off. I guess it's been a little over 4 hours. Another thing about this mat is it was supposed to help with bubbles. And I don't see too many like back surface bubbles, but it does look like here some popped oddly. But as long as the fronts look okay, that'll be fine. I can see a few here on the tail too. But what we're going to do next is we're going to go back over to the my normal little craft area, and we're going to unmold these. Said they do feel firm, and they're not like, I'm not leaving fingerprints on them when I press on them. So hopefully these are cured enough. I did do some math on those measurements, and the 2 centimeters equals about just over 3/4 of an inch. And then the other chart was like 0.8 centimeters for 4 hours, and that was like just over 1/3 of an inch. So, and I don't think any of these are thicker than, say, 1/3 of an inch. So all these mold, except for maybe this one. This one does get a little deep underneath. But hopefully these work out. So let's just get into this unmolding and see what happens. We're starting nice and easy with these very small ones here. Okay, and they look nice. They feel dry. Yeah, it doesn't feel sticky or tacky. So those 2 bats came out really cute. All right, we're off to a decent start there, doing all the really small ones first. I had enough. This was like my leftover resin where I had just barely enough to fill in one of these butterflies, and I didn't even paint the mold. But he still came out pretty cute with just the black resin. So not bad, not bad. So far so good. We're getting there. Things are going well. Okay, I overfilled this one a little. You can see where I'm going to have to do some serious trimming on that bat. But yeah, just got to trim a little bit under there. But also, wow, yeah, no, I'm really impressed. You can see he's probably about that 1/3 of an inch that the 4 hours should cure. So yeah, no, so far so good. We're doing good, guys. This is kind of exciting, to being able to unmold them in just 4 hours. That is like amazing and awesome. And here's that one. As you can see, I had a little bit of excess. See if these worked. And these are the ones, of course, I didn't use any of the mica powders because they have the hologram that transfers. I really wonder, is like the transferring hologram something that'll eventually go away, or is it like going to be kind of permanent? But this one does have a whole bunch, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can, a whole bunch of pinprick holes all the way around it. So, you know, air bubbles, tons of air bubbles in that one. This one too, lots of air bubbles. So I'm not 100% sure. And I did use my heat gun too. I didn't just rely on the heat mat. But it looks like I still got a ton of bubbles on these. The other ones though don't look that bad as far as bubbles go. There's a couple of small ones in here. But yeah, these witches' hats are like brimming with bubbles. See how the... Oh my. I wonder what happened here with this particular mold, because these are like super bubbly. I don't know if you can see all those little pinprick holes. Wow. So weird. But the holographic part came out okay. I've ruined this one coffin though. You can see how there's a mark there. I messed up the mold itself and now it just transfers to my parts. But yeah, I don't know why those particular molds had so many tiny pinprick bubbles. I wonder what was different about those molds as opposed to these, because these, there's a couple of small bubbles, but well, these two don't have any bubbles at all, but these two have a couple of really tiny bubbles. I don't know, kind of weird. Okay, this one's probably my biggest one, but I don't think the thickest one. I think this Medusa's the thickest one. Oh wow, yep, this one was cured. And actually, they're not even that bendy. A lot of times at the 24-hour mark, even when I unmold them, they're still a little bit soft and bendy, but this is like not even bendy. So wow, yeah, it does a really good job. I did get some bubbles again though. And they're actually parts of the design that just didn't fill in. As you can see, or maybe you can see, where the mica powder is still in those little holes. And so those should have been raised like these, but it just got air bubbles instead. I'm not 100% sure how to solve that air bubble issue. Like I said, I used the heat gun, and then the mat is also supposed to help with the bubbles, but it really didn't seem to do much good. Okay, let's do the small Medusa. Ooh, she came out nice. There's, and as usual, there is missing a couple of snake heads. That seems to be pretty common for these Medusa molds. Oops, I wasn't even showing you. I was too busy looking at it myself. But yeah, it is missing a couple of the snake heads. Again, I'm just not sure, without getting like one of those pressure thingies, how to cure that. Let's do the bigger Medusa. This is the only one that I'm a little nervous about because she is kind of thick at her thickest parts. Oh no, she came out beautifully actually. There is one major snakehead missing there and just a tip of a snakehead missing there, but other than that, she came out really well. Like most of her snakeheads are intact. So I'm really pleased with that. Part of my bubble issue might also be, oh, this one, something about these flat ones that just, all these little pinprick holes, so strange. I also didn't use any extra mica powders on this one simply because I was just trying to use up some leftover resin and I was just in a hurry. But yeah, I don't know if you can see all those pinprick holes. Those are all bubbles, and I don't know how to, like I said, how to get rid of those. I'm already using the heat gun, and the heat mat was also supposed to help with that, but I feel like it kind of made it worse. I don't know if I've like, all these ones I did not use mica powders with are just covered in tiny little pinprick bubble holes, which is weird. The ones I used mica powders with seem slightly better, except for my poor kitty, which again is like, these are all supposed to, wherever it's this little like hole, it's actually supposed to be raised like these three over here. Yeah, all we have left are these butterflies. Let's see how they came out. Oh, they came out really nice, and there's very few bubbles in there. Also, I did use the resin that I have a lot of bubble issues with, so that was also kind of on me. But I was hoping that the mat would help alleviate that issue. But that one came out cute. There's a couple of tiny bubbles, but not too bad. Nothing too bad there. Yeah, same thing. Came out really well. Only one or two little bubbles. Nothing too terrible. Ooh, I really like this one. Although I didn't quite get the antenna completely formed. You can see there's a chunk missing there. That happens. But the rest of them came out really cute. Same thing. Colors came out nice. A couple of pinprick bubbles. And our final one. This is it. And same thing. Like, colors came out really nice. And maybe a couple of pinprick bubbles, but nothing too serious there. So yeah. So I guess the review of the mat is it really does work. It's, you know, it said it would change curing time from what normally I wait 24 hours, and like I said, when I wait 24 hours and I unmold these, they're all still soft, but these are hard. So it only took 4 hours to actually get them hard. So that's crazy. That's insane. I just need to, again, I think it might have been, it's a combination of the resin I used and maybe not using mica powders. I feel like the mica powders helped with the bubble issue some. So maybe that's just some stuff I need to work with. These came out the worst as far as bubbles go, but the rest of them came out really nice, I think. But let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below. Do you make resin pieces like this? Do you use one of the heat mats? Does it work for you? Let me know all of that. Let me know what you thought about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, of course you can give us a thumbs down, and please tell me all about it in the comments below. And please subscribe to the channel. And I hope everyone is just staying happy, healthy, and safe in this incredibly crazy world we're living in. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.